Hello and welcome, our beloved viewers, to our today's news English edition. As usual, we'll bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. Let's follow. D-Money powers a revolution in transaction banking in Djibouti. And in the international scene, G20 environment ministries have failed to reach an agreement on CO2 emissions. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. On the silence of the work of the Russia-African Summit and the meetings of the Economic and Humanitarian Forum in St. Petersburg and to promote the Djibouti destination, the Minister of Energy in charge of Natural Resources, His Excellency Mr. Yunus Ali Ghedi, took advantage of his presence in Russia by talking to investors, bankers, and managers of large Russian and African companies invested in the African market. These interviews took place in the presence of the ambassador of Djibouti in Russia, Dr. Mohammed Ali Kamil, the ambassador of Russia in Djibouti, Mr. Antonio Kopokayov, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Higher Education and Research, Mr. Abubakar Hassan Ali, the technical advisor to the Ministry of Energy in charge of natural resources, Mr. Mahdi Bari Hassan, and the director of hydrocarbons, Mr. Wahib Ali Bolo. The Minister Yunus Ali Ghedi first met with the chairman of the board of directors of the African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, to discuss opportunities for cooperation in the energy and petroleum sectors between Djibouti and the Afrexim Bank and the ways and means to bring important projects to the fruition. At the central headquarters of D-Money, a partnership signing ceremony took place this morning between D-Money, actor of Djibouti Telecom, Mobile Money and Sabah African Bank, co-chaired by General Manager of Djib Telecom, Mr. Mohammed Asawi Buh, the General Manager of Sabah African Bank, Mr. Abdul Raqib. The meeting was also honored by the effective presence of senior managers from both parties, including in particular Mrs. Hibo Mahmoud, Director General of D-Money. This is the signature of a banking interconnection agreement between D-Money and Sabah African Bank, which according to the officers of the two institutions will enable these two institutions to reinform through the availability and multiplication of electronic transaction in order to offer their customers a panel of financial products from their mobile phones. Through this agreement, the third with the banks of Place Djibouti Telecom thus makes a point of honor to dematerialize fiduciary currency by creating its own interconnected financial transaction hub with the entire banking ecosystem. During his speech on the occasion, the General Manager of South African Bank, Mr. Abdul Raqib, underlined that this agreement is important for the event to modernize the activities and services that the bank offers to its customers. A large delegation led by the president of the Djibouti Post and Free Zone Authority in Great Horn Investment Holding, Mr. Abubakar Umar Hadi, undertook a business trip to Kampala in Uganda. During his stay, Mr. Hadi and the other members of his delegation met General Edward Katumbu Wamala, a current Minister of Public Works and Transport of the Republic of Uganda. The discussions focused on the development of the Djibouti Addis Juba Kampala corridor, a project jointly approved by the four countries in 2019. During the meeting, the Djiboutian delegation presented the vast potential of the sea-air mode of transport, as well as the interests of the free zones of Djibouti by strategically pre-positioning the goods for better optimization of cost and delivery time. The senior officials also discussed the establishment of air connectivity between the Republic of Djibouti and the Republic of Uganda through Uganda Airlines, which plans to fly to Djibouti, a new destination among the 19 cities in Africa already served by sea-air cargo from Djibouti. The chairman of the National Human Rights Commission, Mr. Ali Subani Atiyeh, accompanied by two commissioners of the National Human Rights Commission, took part in a meeting of the Arab Network of Human Rights Institutions in Cairo from 29 as of July 30, 2023. The network meets in Cairo on the compliances of Arab NCRs with the Paris Principles in order to obtain a statute in the accreditation system. A memorable and captivating The international stopover hotel for fans of manga, these Japanese comics that have won the hearts of thousands of fans around the world. The third edition of the Djibouti Japanime convention was a real success, attracting hundreds of young girls and boys of all ages, all united by their love for their fantastic universe. The purpose of this exhibition was none other than to create an environment conducive to sharing this overflowing passion between friends and fans of manga, and the least we can say that it is the meeting was a success. The enticing program of the event introduced included stands filled with collectible figures, rare treasures for African idols, as well as posters featuring the iconic characters loved by young fans. In addition to the exhibition of the day was punctuated by video games, drawings, and paintings, thus filling the young people present with happiness. Everyone could immerse themselves in a fantastic world, and give free rein to their imagination, giving life to creation inspired by manga heroes and universes. The highlight of the day was undoubtedly the cosplay contest, where participants compared to ingenuity to slip into the skin of their favorite characters. The organizers wanted to reward the winners for their spectacular performance and their dedication to this culture that transcends borders. This craze for manga and anime continues to grow in Djibouti now, affecting all generations. This trend bears witness to the universality and strength of the Japanese art, capable of bringing together entire communities around a common passion. Randa, along with the village of Dai, is a dream destination for many Djiboutians. Let's watch this special edition.
Randa, like the village of Dai, is a dream destination for many Djiboutians. Located 35 kilometers from the white city Tajora and an altitude of 900 meters, Randa is particularly popular with Djibouti vacationers this year. Despite its peaceful appearance at first glance, the village is buzzing with activity, and its thoroughfares are busy with the massive arrivals of holidaymakers who have fled the torrid heat that prevails at these times of year in most of our country. Many have come with their families, others are here for the weekend or just a few days, just for a change of scenery and to enjoy the mild climate far from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Nicknamed Randa Paris or Lele Randa, but by its natives, every year the village of Randa welcomes numerous families from the capital and inland regions. These families, as in other regions with a similar climate, are either welcomed by families already settled in Randa, can also rent a house for 2 or 3 months and take mixed rooms at the recently refurbished auberge of Randa, located at the entrance to the village. This friendly establishment is run by its owner, Garad Habib Dini, a young local businessman and entrepreneurs. He said that business is more profitable during the summer vacations thanks to the ever-increasing number of holidaymakers, small shops, and stalls springs up everywhere. Most holidaymakers prefer to rent a house, but the inn also has its regular guests. All this has been made possible by the constructions of the Tajura Balho Road, which makes our work much easier. Here, too, we wanted to meet some of our compatriots who consider themselves lucky to have been able to book in times and spend the summer in Randa. Muhammad Shaham said that thanks to the new road, it's been easier to get around. That's why I visited my family who are here on vacations every weekend. I work in Djibouti, and it's always a real pleasure to come back to see my families and also to see that more and more holidaymakers are coming to Rwanda. Khadija Isa Muhammad said for her part, when I come here for vacations, I was pleasantly surprised to find that everything about Rwanda was true, mild, cool climate, friendly people. Thanks be to God, we are having an excellent time and a pleasant stay. It is worth noting that the government has undertaken several actions to significantly improve the daily lives of the inhabitants of Rwanda. This is what parliamentarian Abdallah Rufa and Ali Kamil, natives of the village, have to say. For his part, Abdallah Rufa said it is a summer. Everything we need as we spend our vacations as a family, which with our compatriot. I urge Djiboutians to spend their vacations at home, like here in Rwanda, and to take advantage of this pleasant setting conducive to rest or fulfillment. For his part, Mr. Ali Kamil said that we are very lucky to have this kind of climate and these mild skies. Our holidaymakers came to us from all four corners of the countries, and all the conditions are in place to ensure that their stay with us is a pleasant one. It would seem that the village of Randa has regained its former glory, the main reason being without doubt that the brand new road linking the White City to the sub-prefecture of Tora, passing through the village of Randa in the process. Spending your vacations in Rwanda means enjoying the mild climate, peace and quiet, as well as a host of adventures. In short, there is no doubt that Rwanda is one of the best holiday destinations for relaxing, enjoying yourself, and spending a pleasant weekend and unforgettable vacation.
This Thursday, the prefect of the Obakh region, Mr. Musadan Migani, accompanied as usual by his close advisors, assistants, and various heads of decentralized services, ended his contact tour in rural localities by the village of Khorangar and Muluhle, localities under the sub-prefecture of Khorangar. Recalling that this working visit by the prefect is part of his trip to bedside of rural localities to see their conditions firsthand on arrival, the prefect of the area, Mr. Mohammed Ali Umar, Mr. Mohammed Hamadou, representative of the regional council of Obokh, a local elected representative of this community, Deputy Kamil Humad, Colonel Elias of the army, and the population of the two villages gave a huge warm welcome to the new prefect and his delegation. The opening ceremony of the Games of the Francophone took place in Kinshasa yesterday. A large Djiboutian delegation of athletes and artists took part in the parade to the cheers of 80,000 spectators. The opening ceremony began with a parade of athletes and artists from the states and governments that make up the international organization of the Francophone. After the parade of delegations, the speeches, the program including concerts and artistic performers. In fact, this is the biggest artistic and sporting event in the Francophone dedicated to young people with the aim of developing talent and enabling the thousands of young people who came to compete to meet and share ideas in a friendly atmosphere. The ninth edition of the Francophone Games, held in Kinshasa from July 28 to August 9, will bring together more than 3,000 talented young people aged 18 to 35 from French-speaking countries, representing some 40 delegations competing in 11 artistic disciplines and 9 sporting competitions. After the opening ceremony of the Francophone Games, our athletes started their training session under the supervision of their coach, Mr. Hassan Said. The national team coach elaborated on the different aspects of training, emphasizing the importance of a good physical condition. He emphasized the importance of endurance, strength, and technique in every sporting discipline represented by Djiboutian athletes. He also emphasized the importance of regular training and disciplines in achieving the objectives set. Djibouti's athletes were encouraged to surpass themselves and raise to the challenge awaiting them. They were urged to show solidarity, fair play, and respect for the other athletes and delegations present. The Djiboutian delegation, under the leadership of Mr. Ahmed Moussa, pledged to provide all the support necessary for the athletes to give their best. He expressed his confidence in the performance of the Djiboutian athletes and encouraged the delegation to remain united and work as a team to achieve the objectives set. Last week, the National Police arrested three individuals who had attacked a group of young people at the Jama Aulad, a basketball court. After an extortion attempt, one of the suspects stabbed a young man in the chest with a knife. The victim died as a result of his injuries. And shifting towards the international scene now, in the midst of an extreme heat wave and raging fires to the northern hemisphere, the G20 environment ministers failed on Friday to reach agreement to reducing greenhouse gas emissions to tackle climate change. The G20 ministers, whose members alone account for over 80% of both the world's gross domestic product and CO2 emissions, were due to discuss a number of crucial issues in Madras, India on Friday, including the financing of climate change adaptation, biodiversity, and the principles that should govern maritime economic activities. Well, by this, our beloved viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening.